Yes, Judge. Okay, I need all those, I need these files on those cases, so thanks. I don't know where they are.
It's right here on top.
Thank you. 24 CR 696 is called the State of Texas versus Trevante Conrad. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Adams, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about March 5th, 2024, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of terroristic threat to a public servant. Do you understand what you were charged with?
Yes, sir.
There was a reason for this disturbing behavior. You face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Sir.
You speak out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. An agreement's been reached where you would be pleading guilty, placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for up to 10 years in length. There's no fine or
No,
restitution. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 there. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Understand it. Discuss it with your attorney or the contents true and correct.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered and dated.
No objection.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation by your attorney in this case. All true, so help you God. State's Exhibit 1 made part of the record for all purposes.
And Your Honor, the state would also request just part of the condition of probation that it be ordered not to go on the campus there of Lamar University in Beaumont.
No objection. No objection, sir.
Were you a student there?
No, sir. No, sir.
What were you doing over there?
A YouTube video.
A YouTube video on what?
Like just
Education?
talking to girls.
Talking to girls. You know, that's a learning center. It's for education, not for. And you weren't even a student there?
I knew somebody.
So you go there and let's see. Responded to a report of a terroristic threat in the communications building. I'm going to shoot your ass. You're threatening to kill somebody at Lamar University on that campus?
I wouldn't.
And you weren't even a student there? The suspect caused a disruption in the classroom in which Thomas was attending class in. You went in the classroom?
And Your Honor, how it, if I may, how it went down, the defendant went into the classroom in a speech class while they were giving speeches. One of the individuals, yes, sir. In the middle of class, he tells one of them to shut the F up. A much larger football player than him stands up, starts to walk towards him as he's videoing himself and backing out the door. And when he gets him almost completely outside, he says, basically, if you keep coming at me, I'm going to shoot you. Talking to the football player that was essentially walking him out.
So it wasn't threatening a public servant.
No, sir. It's placing the public in a fear, substantial number of individuals in fear of serious bodily injury. By him saying he's shooting. Other people did hear that in the class and were fearful of that. So, even though he did direct it to the, towards the individual, the football player that was walking out.
This caused the class to abruptly cease activities, then the person who was being spoken to asked who the suspect was. So you were live streaming the encounter on an online. Back down to the classroom and stated, "I'm going to shoot your bitch ass," repeatedly, and placed the person, the victim, and other individuals in fear of their lives. The what were you doing? I still don't understand. Why were you there when you didn't have any business being there and interrupted a class at school? Now I'm talking to you.
It's, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, don't. I only have 3 degrees. I can figure it out. You tell me something how you are there that makes intelligence.
It's a new thing that go like live streaming is popular, so I was just trying to ride the wave. No, I wouldn't. It wasn't my intention to go there and do that.
What was your intention? You disrupted the class.
I had read somebody comment in the chat, told me to tell the teacher shut up and you will go viral. I just did it. It wasn't my intention though.
You had no business being in that class. These other people pay money to go to school to get education. So you're an outsider. You venture onto the school, disrupt the education program just for fun? Is that it? That's craziness. I don't care what the new fad is. That doesn't have anything to do with right. It's all wrong. Well, you don't put people in fear of their lives, threatening at a school, an education facility. I'm funny about that. Anything else, Dan? Anybody? I'm going to find you have pleaded, you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment has been read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You are totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, so help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes.
No objection.
Pre-sentence report waived.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else to add?
Nothing
No,
to stay.
If not, I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty and beyond a reasonable doubt. But I'm going to defer a finding of guilt, place you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of bizarre conduct. You will, among other things, remain off the premises of Lamar University property unless you somehow begin to act wiser to get an education, which they can help you with because they're a learning institution. You will complete anger management. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, and you will serve 30 days in the county jail. You disrupted people, adults who were trying to get an education. And it was for no other purposes but to disrupt. It had nothing to do with education. You weren't invited there. You brazenly got on those properties, in that property, interrupted a class, threatened people with their lives. And you will do 30 days in the county jail. And that begins immediately. That people like you who think others who are trying to get an education are that's not important. Unfortunately, you need to gain wisdom to learn that that's the key to almost every success in life, not the stunts you pull. All that did was harm people, disrupt their lives, and at an educational facility. On my watch, people getting an education are going to be protected from bizarre behavior like you.
I'm not a bad person.
You are what you act. You acted badly, sir. You are how you act. If you're not, you better start acting better than you acted here. That was completely irresponsible behavior. You put people in fear of their lives.
Thank you.
That is all. Jonathan Brasino. Take care of it.
Judge, I'll need to figure Mr. Rosino when he comes out. Custody.
Somebody else back there that I'm.
Well, chaos there. What are we gonna do on his? He's got two cases, right?
He's got three, we're dismissing two.
Which ones?
Uh,
Okay, I see a plea on 1299.